Hi there, welcome back. Interesting stuff. Last week, during the one of the session, I was asked by one of the consultant uh, while he's running an indication flow, the error which the consultant is receiving from the receiver that is not being transmitting to the sender. So what does it mean? Means whatever the error the receiver system is giving, that same error is not transmitting to the sender. So why that is happening? But whereas when he is seeing the errors in the cloud integration logs, he's able to see more descriptive error where the details about some sub informations are also provided. But whereas when it is going to the sender, it is not giving the same set of information. So why that is happening actually? So for that, we need to understand how the error configuration is being handled within the cloud integration, and there is a reason for doing this, and what is actually recommended as part of the design. Okay, so this is my integration flow. So this is the integration flow which I have created. So just for our understanding, we are going to send some request from the source, and it is going to hit one FTP server, and we are giving some error. Basically, I have assigned some wrong credentials, and when I'm going to push some information to the FTP server or SATP server, it will definitely fail because the credentials are wrong. So now let's push it. So this is the endpoint which I'm having, and this is the test payload. I am going to send some information like, let's say this information I want to send it. Let me send this information to the target. And here now I am getting internal 500 server error. So 500 means whatever the series starting with 500 plus means it is coming from the target side. If uh, the error codes are within 400 series means it's coming from the source side. So if 401 means authentication error, which we are already aware 403, 404 like that. So since it is 500 means it is something coming from the target. So what the target is actually giving us the error. Uh, just one moment. So here, if we see at the target side, uh, now if I double click over here, so why that is happening actually? The target, whatever the error message target is sending, that is not being transmitted. So how we will see? We will just check in the logs. So if I go into the log and if I look for the message, it is giving some other information like some information related to the FTP server and all. If I just put it over here, so it is giving the details about the FTP server and is mentioning that some internal error is happening from this FTP server. Okay, but whereas what have we got? So this is what the sender is actually getting. Okay, so the sender is not having this information about the sender is not having this information about the whatever the error it is being received from the target system. So why it is happening actually? So it is happening because within our cloud integration configuration, you see here. So when you come inside your integration flow, you have to just double click on this white canvas and there is an error configuration. So here we need to set, okay, so you need to enable this return exception to sender. But as a best practice, this is not being checked as a default parameter. There's a reason for this because why it is not recommended? Because sometimes you have to be very careful because while sending or while receiving an error from the target system, you might be sending some confidential information. That is the reason this is being deselect. Okay, so if somebody is asking you in an interview what are the best practices, so you can also highlight this particular section as well. So unless we need the target error to be sent to the source, we should not be enabling this, okay? Because by mistake, you might be exposing some of the information, confidential information of the target as well. Okay, so what we will do, just for our understanding, we'll just check this checkbox and we will just save it and we'll deploy it. And post deployment, we will just push this message again. So this is the message. So this is the initial error, whatever we are seeing. So I'm just pushing it once again to the same endpoint. So now if you see here, now it has given some more relevant information. So now if I just paste it over here, so you will see that the data of the server, whatever it is failing, why it is failing, some internal error has occurred from this particular server. But whereas what was happening in the previous case, it was coming as internal server error occurred. So what is recommended? So that totally depends on your configuration. If you really need the receiver error to be sent to the source, which is most likely not recommended because you might by mistake sending some confidential information of the target system that is not recommended. Okay, so this is how you can also understand how the errors are being transmitted to the sender, whether you are restricting this error or not. So by selecting this checkbox, you can enable that. So I hope you have found this small setting little interesting and it will help you during any of your interviews discussion. As a best practice, you can also mention this. Thank you so much.